as a tool. I really, really hate FF logs. And of course, the unfortunate truth about it is that anytime I try to bring any of this up to anybody that doesn't, already have this mindset, the usual response is along the lines of, "Oh, sounds like you just don't parse well. Sounds like you suck." Spoiler alert. I got quite a few 99s on my profile. I don't have any rank 1s. I think the highest I've gotten was... I want to say it was like rank 14 was the highest I got once. But I've gotten more than a few 99s in Savage and such. And you want to know what my big response was when I found out that I had them? Like, I shared them to a couple people, but I was like, sure, whatever. Big number go burr. Oh, there's somebody on the... Oh no, that's Behemoth. I thought it was Cerberus for a second there. Cerberus is one of the mounts I don't have. No, we need one more. That should be it. Yep, that's it. This one spawned. Okay, almost. There we go. And let's keep going clockwise. I believe this one is the one where we get to fight Snex. Plus, like anything meter-wise, a tool that can be used to identify issues and improve. Yep. That's exactly what I do with it. I use it to look at cooldown timers. Cooldown timers and mitigation planning. Oh, somebody else is here. Greetings, random stranger. They have the same bird I do! They have the same chocobo! Same color and everything! Oh, I have to show them. I have to show them. I have to show them. I have to reveal that we both have the same bird. Yes! Look! Look, look, look! We have the same! It's the same! Aw, he didn't get excited over that. I thought it was neat. Look, random stranger. Look at Drumstick. Look at our twin brothers. We have twin chocobos. They're brothers. Issue is definitely people who learn the wrong stuff from meters. It's not so much that they're learning the wrong thing from meters. It's more they have the mentality that the only thing that FF Logs is good for is tracking DPS. And so they feel like that's the only thing that matters. They don't realize just how powerful a tool FF Logs and ACT really... how powerful a tool those two things are when used correctly. And now we wait. We don't have to wait for very long. At 700. Only 300 to go. Trying to get a token a day? No, I'm trying to get 10 tokens a day. Oh, it's only 5. Hang on. Let me grab this one right here. Now we can leave. Yeah, the Fate ones, the Fate vouchers cost 100 per. The Gatherer ones cost 1,000 per. I'm working towards getting those ones too, because I want the Swole Tender. I must have the Swole Tender. But I'm doing a slow grind on that one. I'm only doing the custom deliveries for it. So it'll take a really long time, but I'm not really doing anything else with custom deliveries, so I'm content to just do that weekly task. It gets me about 2 of them per week. Which that'll drop a little bit when the new custom delivery person comes out, because they're gonna actually no, that it should increase when the new custom delivery person comes out. But it should take me about the same length of time to get the Swole Tender as it will for me to get this. Actually, no, it'll take me a lot longer. But I can always, like, switch gears and go after collectibles if I want. It's just not a priority right now. Eventually it will be, but one grind at a time. I'm not trying to burn myself out. Which is why I'm doing this as slowly as I am compared to what I could do, because what I could do is I could very easily push myself to get more than just the 10 tickets that I planned for. Would not be that hard. But doing that, I know full well, would burn me out super quick. So by just keeping it at a more reasonable number, or at least what I consider to be a reasonable number, is just the way to go. And you're at 6. I think I'm only at 4? No, I'm at 2. Yeah. I'm at 2 of those. And 31 of the bicolor gemstones vouchers. The reason for the 31 is because when I first unlocked the ability to purchase them, I had 1,100, so I ended up getting 11 that day. Is it worth it doing the Shadow and Endwalker zones for it? Not particularly. Like, if you don't have the shared fates for those zones finished, and you want to finish those, then yeah, it is worth it, because then you're essentially doing 2 grinds for 1. But if you've already finished the shared fates for those zones, it's not really worth it over farming here, because the maps in those zones are much, much larger, and you would have to level sync for them, and you would get fewer gemstones per fate. Like, that's the reason why I'm farming this zone specifically for fates, because the level of these fates is high enough that I will never have to level sync. And the map, this is actually the smallest map in Dawn Trail. And the main reason why the level sync aspect matters, it's not so much that I get, full access to all of my abilities or anything like that. That's actually not the reason. The reason is because this way I can have my tank stance on and leave it on and not have to constantly turn it back on every time I level sync because level syncing takes it away from you. And the reason I want my tank stance on is because, well, Fate Credit is done by aggro. So if I happen to be in a zone where a whole bunch of people are farming, I want to be able to just have my tank stance on so I can come in, do like 3 GCDs and get full credit. I mean, I'm still okay. I'd still be okay with joining you for them. It wouldn't hurt. It just would, like, there's a difference between it being a detriment and it not being optimal. Like, I'm still getting gemstones. I'm still working towards getting the 1,000 gemstones. Like, getting fewer gemstones per fate wouldn't stop me from continuing to farm until I got 1,000. It would just take slightly longer. And this is already going by pretty quick. So it's not a big deal. And truth be told, if I cared that much about optimization, I would be instance hopping to see if I could keep going with more fates. Like, but I'm not doing that. I would be instance hopping. I would be teleporting within the zone. I'd be doing extra shit to try and maximize my number of fates completed, but I'm not interested in that because, again, that is something that I know would burn me out real quick. Boss fate spawned. I only get that way with certain things. And it's mostly just being annoyed at myself more than anything else. As for instance, anytime I use Decimate on 3 enemies, I get annoyed with myself because I know that it's a DPS loss. Because Square Enix is stupid. Actually had people making a similar argument when I started going for the Astrope mount when I was doing my mentor roulettes. Because I wasn't the only one that was going for Astrope at the time. It was actually a whole bunch of us that were going for it. And we did eventually all get Astrope. But my friends were doing the mentor roulette cheese, so they didn't have to do like actual mentor roulettes. I was doing the mentor roulettes, quote unquote, legit. And for those that don't know what the mentor roulette cheese is, what you do is you get 3 other friends that all queue for the Under the Armor guild test with German language selected, or just whatever particular language is hard to come by in whatever region you happen to be in. I believe they use German for it. The 3 friends queue in... All 4 of you queue in German. The 3 of them queue for Under the Armor guild test, which takes all of like 30 seconds to complete. And the last person queues for Mentor Roulette, also in German. Because the way Mentor Roulette works is it will attempt to place you with a party that has at least 1 new person in it. If it cannot do that, it will instead just use you to fill in another party that is looking for a final member. So you can kind of see where this is going. By queuing up in a language that people mostly don't queue up in, you're essentially forcing the system to try harder to find somebody to fill, and so it'll just take the person from Mentor Roulette. And if you do that, then you can easily complete a Mentor Roulette in all of 10 seconds, and you can just spam the hell out of it. I don't know the details of it, but I do know that in a pinch, if you're willing to risk your account getting, actioned for botting, there is a group out there that will set you up with a couple of bots that will also be queuing. So you don't even, in a pinch, you don't even need the 3 friends. You can just get 3 bots to queue for Under the Armor repeatedly. And that is how you cheese Mentor Roulette. Now, I never did that, I didn't do that, too much. I did do it a couple of times. There were a couple of nights where I just was hanging out with friends and we would be queuing up for it. Sometimes I would just be trolling them and I would start queuing when I knew they were doing Under the Armor and see if I could, like, mess with their queue times. But the vast majority of my Mentor Roulettes were just me doing 10 Mentor Roulettes a day. Forlorn, where is it? Maiden! We are no longer maidenless. Yep, we have a bonus one to come to go to next. It's gonna be great. God, I hate doing these ones. I think that's the last one we needed. Yes, good. And I wouldn't call it lame, honestly. I don't blame them for doing that, given the stuff that I encountered in Mentor Roulette. It's draining. It's honestly draining. So I do not blame them. Ooh, we're gonna get back-to-back bonus. Well, not exactly back-to-back. There's two-parter, and this is a two-parter, so... if a maiden spawns here, we skip the second part of this fate and go to the bonus. If a maiden spawns. I don't think it will, honestly. Maiden luck has been kind of shit. Oh, damn. We got so many bonus fates coming up. Look at that. Oh, somebody else is here again. Hello, random stranger. You are a new random stranger. You have a different chocobo. Maybe we'll get lucky and this one will be bonus too. Would that be asking for too much? Nah, it's not bonus. Unfortunate. I hope the person that was here isn't going to do one of the bonus fates. Let me see. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. He is doing it. Shit. That bastard. Okay, we can try and finish this as quickly as possible and then rush over there. Okay, this is done. Let's go. Hopefully, he's a little slow on it. Yeah, we should be able to get there plenty of time. It's only at 20%. Yeah, 33%. And plus I'm on tank. I only need to get a couple of hits in. And since we're in a party, your credit is tied to mine, so as long as you hit something once, it should be fine. My credit will apply to both of us. No, this is a different person. This is actually a different person. So it's not the guy that we had. Different chocobo. Ah, stupid rocks. Okay, now we get to go all the way down to the corner for the turn-in fate. That string of bonus fates brought me up to 932. 932 gemstones because of that string of bonus fates. That's great. I imagine that other person that we ran into is probably going to do that boss fate. But not a big deal. We can get these two done. Okay, one more. One more as I see you paint a meteor dropping over its head. Ah, damn it. Go away, you stupid python. Okay, there we go. Oh, they're not doing it. Okay, we might be able to do that boss fight after all. Cool. Oh, because they're down here. That's them right there. Move these over here, otherwise they'll keep spawning on top of us. Okay, there we go. And then they can finish it. But briefly getting back to Mental Roulette, like, I don't blame them for cheesing it, because Mental Roulette was definitely a chore. And it really highlighted some glaring issues with the player base. Namely, the fact that nobody wants to communicate and nobody wants to listen. It was always very strange to me how I would end up getting a an EX Primal from ARR, which was pretty normal for Mental Roulette, honestly. If you queued for Mental Roulette and you got an 8-man instance, there's a solid chance that it was gonna be a Primal. But what really killed me about it was people would queue for these primals, which is perfectly fine. You know, I honestly did not mind it all that much, but they would do that, and then whenever I tried to explain mechanics, they would either explicitly ignore what I was saying, or just actively tell me to just keep my mouth shut and not say anything. They did not want me to teach them the fight. It was very strange. And it got to a point. This is gonna be an old reference that's gonna carbon date me a little bit. It got to a point where every time I queued for Mental Roulette, I felt like I was on an episode of Prometheus and Bob. I have no idea why they wouldn't want to learn it. No idea. And I was never rude in party chat. I was absolutely rude in voice chat whenever I was talking to my friends about the people I was with, 100%. But I was never rude in party chat. Like, my party chat was usually restricted to, hey, this is how this mechanic works. That's it. That's all I would do. That's all I'd say. Nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, like I said, I'd either be ignored or told to shut up. So eventually it got to a point where I just stopped trying to teach. I just I tried to be the mentor the game wanted me to be, but the players did not want me to be that kind of mentor. So I stopped. And like I said, it got to a point where I just felt like I was on an episode of Prometheus and Bob. And for those that don't know what that show is, first off, I don't blame you. It's a pretty old show. There used to be a show on Nickelodeon. I believe that channel is still around. I don't know what's on it these days, but it was a show called Nickelodeon, or a network called Nickelodeon, and it was a show called Kablam. And Kablam was a sort of compilation show of sorts where they had a bunch of smaller shows that they would run inside the larger show. There was Action Team Now, which was basically a team of superheroes that was just acted out using dolls and stop motion. And one of those shows was Prometheus and Bob. The premise of the show being that Prometheus, whose name comes from the Greek titan that gave humans fire, Prometheus was actually an alien who came to Earth to try and teach a caveman by the name of Bob various technologies. And every time Prometheus tried to teach, Bob would either completely misunderstand the lesson and do things completely wrong, or would attempt to do it a different way than what Prometheus was trying to teach, which would somehow work, but would still be wrong, and he'd still try to correct him. And then there was also a monkey involved that would sometimes show up. Just a wild monkey. He wasn't supposed to be there learning or anything. It'd just be a wild monkey would show up and sometimes just intentionally ruin the lesson. And it was a whole, like, skit comedy thing. It was incredibly funny. And it felt like that's what I was doing every time I queued up for Mentor Roulette. Also, I got my 1,000 gemstones. Task completed for the day. I am now at 40 gemstones. Well, 41 gemstones. I'm going to go ahead and keep that last one there. So that on the final day, I only have to farm 900 gemstones to have the sugar glider. How many do I need? I need 500 tickets. It's 500 tickets, and I now have 41 after today. I should repair gear. Yep, it is going to take me 50 days, or a little under 2 months, to get the mount using this method. But you know, I did 10 mentor roulettes a day to get Astrope. I can do 10 gemstone vouchers a day to get the sugar glider. So with that done, I'm going to go ahead and call that a stream. Tomorrow we should be doing more Ultimate Prog. I'll be doing my usual bit of roulettes and fate grinding and such. Probably not as much fate grinding because I'll do some during the day. So I don't like run up against raid start time too much. But I believe tomorrow we should be running Ultimate Prog, and hopefully we'll be able to get past phase 2. And yeah, thanks for coming, Lynn. It was fun. Always happy to have some company on these things. So that's gonna be all for today. See you guys tomorrow. Later.